and a voice goes, "Hey, oh, anybody out there?"
I reply back with a sailor's whistle response on my flute.
Okay, there's a okay, but what was the flash? Hello. All right, bring up some of the nets. We're gonna just bring some of up. I want to be able to move at a moment's notice. Yeah, I know that one's only half full. Haul it up. The other one, just store it for now. I want to be able to move. And you can see the dwarves begin to, with sort of a softness, but a quickness, they begin to sort of go about hauling up some of their nets, their eyes sort of scanning about them, looking into the darkness as you all remain quiet out on the waters. That one fish sort of weakly flapping its back tail, still stunned, just, about 15 feet out from you at this point.
You'd best get fish. Don't want to waste it.
Who's well, Nicro will just look at him with a blank look. And if the fish is still alive, is it swimming away? I don't.
Nope, it's not. It's still alive, but it's just flapping its back tail weakly. It's still on the surface of the water as the boats sort of continue to drift that direction, but it looks to be temporarily stunned.
Alcuna put his shield down very carefully and just start to move in that direction towards the fish, not knowing what the hell just happened, and looking to Ghost now, who is slowly becoming the man of sense in the party. Just looking to Ghost like, do you know what the hell just happened?
I shake my head and in Sylvan, I say to myself, "Is good back, Gvail," and I move ourselves towards the poor little fish.
Okay. Great. Sorry, the tokens keep doing this, but okay, you're able to move up, and the fish is just stunned. And if one of you wants to, you're easily able to grab it. It's big, it's heavy, it's a big one. It's about 70 pounds.
Alcuna pick it up, and he's going to look at that. He wants to look at what happened to that fish, all the battlefield stuff that he's seen. And you and I talked about a case, but the closest thing he's ever come to magic was that elven mage that cast fireball or something like that. That was it. It was either all or nothing. And even that was just in one battle he saw that. So he's never seen any kind of magic, and he's looking at this wound trying to figure out what just happened.
Yeah, for my money, and JP can correct me, but I think there's just sort of this seared hole through the side of the head. There's a little bit of not smoke, but it looks seared, like something hot was punctured through its head, and you can smell almost a cooked fish smell from this hole. It's heavy, but it's not struggling, so you're able to grab this big 70-pound slippery knucklehead trout and sort of haul it up into the boat, but it's still a little bit alive as you haul it up, and you get a little bit of that sense of that smell.
Yeah, I mean, Eldritch Blast, whatever it's worth, does force damage, apparently. So.
Yep.
Do you want it to be like a bludgeoning, JP? Like it was.
I would love for it to have a heat aspect to it, but I don't know if I get that luxury.
Yeah.
Like a burning. Like a slight burning aspect to it, like maybe not something that would necessarily set something on fire, but that's what I picture anyway.
Yeah, I think let's roll with that. I think because the fish is so weak and it was such a big thing to come at it. I mean, just like a bullet will leave a hot trail through something. I mean, it's force, it's puncturing, but there's just that from the friction of the magic of the arcane just blowing that hole through the side of it. So. But it's in the boat, sort of weakly flapping at this point. You can see the big ship to the east of you. A couple of the dwarves, as you have scooped this out, you're close enough now where a couple of the dwarves are leaning across the side and they're speaking to each other. I know, Bremen boats. Hey there, Bremen boats. Looks like you got yourself a trout. Good for you. Good for you. One at a time. One at a time. That's good. That's how you feed a village. One trout at a time. Oh, I hope you don't run into the scary monster. And the dwarves sort of, you can see the oars kind of slide out and the boat begins to move away. And you can hear all the dwarves at once, almost by cue. You see one lifts its hand and does this and they go, I wouldn't want to be a Brabant boat. As that sort of like pulls away with the oars, they actually move farther north and slip out into the darkness away from you.
Alcune's got that. He's putting that knucklehead down in the boat floor, and he's going to look over at Hato, and he's going to say, "I've seen a lot of hurt in my day. I've never seen anything like that. You've seen something like this before?"
But not this close.
And with that, he'll just give the final, with his foot, he'll just give that final crunch on the knucklehead.
Great. Yep. The head, it has a big sort of bulbous round head, almost a little bit of a, internal carapace to it, but the pressure of a boot is enough to, crush it, and the tail flaps once and dies. There is a shudder. The boat moves on the water. It moves, and I need everyone to roll me a perception roll. I'm going to use the bathroom super quick. Just roll me that perception roll.
I'm right behind you, brother.
We're all going to say we rolled 20s, right?
Yep.
It's going to sound like I'm lying, but I actually rolled a 21. All things told. It's going to sound like I'm lying, though.
So I don't know how to. I'm trying to build this in game, but I can always give you that extra D4. I will try to catch you before you actually roll what you're going to roll. But if you feel so inclined, from the limited times we've used it so far, to ask for a little blessing, I'm happy to give you one if I don't catch you before you do it.
Okay. Is it something? Is it a blanket spell, or you have to do it individually?
Cantrip. It's a cantrip.
Yeah. Okay.
I give it to you, and you got it for a minute.
Okay.
I left my headphones in, Hato, you cheating bastard. What are people's? Nicro got a 13. Alcune with a 22.
I got a 21.
21 for Hato. That's right. Ghost.
I rolled a natural 1. Build up 5 maybe.
That's a nat 1. Good. So Alcune and Hato, something is distracting the other two at this point, or maybe they just don't catch it. But as the boat begins to rock, there is a V shape of water that is coming to you from directly to the north, where the surface of the water begins to move like a wake, as if something is just below the surface moving at great speed towards you. All of you have 6 seconds until something occurs.
You said I saw it or I didn't see it?
You did not. Only Alcune and Hato.
I look at Alcune. Hopefully I sense that he sees it too. And I'm going to jump up onto the bow with the harpoon and say to him, help me, hold me. And I'm going to ready my harpoon.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
So simultaneously, both of us feeling it at the same time, knowing that that's something big in the water. That's not fish. That's something big in the water. So Hato jumps up there. Alcune grabs his waist, and as he does, he closes his eyes, and he does that. He mumbles again. He mumbles his prayer, giving him a D4.
Okay. Awesome. As you jump up onto the bow, you raise the harpoon, Hato and Alcune. I think, Hato, you're the only one who gets a clear vision of this because Alcune's behind you, blessing you, holding on to you. As you raise the harpoon, you see under the water this long, dark shape. This head is about 2 feet long, this long, skinny head followed by an immensely long, snaky neck. And then behind that, just before it strikes, you see this huge round body with flippers. I'm going to let you, actually, could you roll initiative, just you, Hato, and me, and we're going to see what event happens first.
Okay.
What the fuck, like a dinosaur under there?
I got a 9.
I got a
14.
15.
Okay, Hato, do what you're going to do.
As soon as I see a target, I will let loose the harpoon.
Roll for an attack for me.
Okay, and that would give me. Is harpoon considered a simple weapon or like a spear or something, or is it?
I'm using it as the same thing as a javelin, so yes.
Okay, so I would have proficiency then with the simple and martial weapons. I have proficiency in, so that would be okay.
Yep.
So and I use my dexterity, so I'll get a +3 on whatever I roll here, and I'll do it so for everyone to see. That sucks.
But you get a D4. Still sucks, but
Oh yeah, well hold on, let me
you
put
hit.
in
This is just damage.
That is a 9, Casey. That's a 9.
Okay, Hato, as you leap up there, I think just the sight of the thing plunging at you, you're slightly off kilter as the boat rocks. You hurl the harpoon downwards, and as you do, the being beneath the water spirals, does a corkscrew in the water, and the harpoon deflects off its side, and it rams into the boat at tremendous speed. I need everyone to roll me a dexterity saving throw. You're looking for a 12. Do people prefer if I say it ahead of time? I like that because then we get a reward when we roll. It doesn't. Okay. You need a DC 12 dexterity saving throw.
God. 23.
23.
$11.
11.
Oof.
Okay. Hato made it. Nikrel failed, and so did Alcune. Okay, so Alcune, you failed it by 5 or more. So in this moment, as you're trying to study Hato, actually, you managed to step back into the boat, just catch yourself. But in this moment, Alcune is not there, as if he's lost himself. Alcune, in this sudden smash of the boat, you are thrown into the water. Nikrel, you are knocked prone in the boat, but you are still inside the boat. Alcune, you are thrown outside into frigid water, which splashes over your heavy gear and immediately begins to seep into the heavy clothing that you're wearing, and it begins to pull you down. The boat also takes 11, 12, 13, 14. It takes one of the boats. I'm going to do the one to the farthest north. Takes 18 points of damage. That would be the ram's head.
Yep.
So that boat is down to what, 23, Josh?
$23.
Okay. As it slams into the side, both boats are tied together and they rock hugely as this big body passes under them. And you can see actually it's not taking on water, but the prow of the ram's head is caved in from this massive smash. Alcune, you're actually in the water here. The frigid water pours over you. You immediately feel how deeply cold it is as you begin to be pulled down in the water, but still open play. So anybody can go at this point.
Alcune will immediately just the experience of battle, calm in the mind. Fear is the mind killer, Tom. Fear is the mind killer.
Yeah.
So he immediately calms the mind and says a prayer to himself, and he's gonna, push against the water, push against nothing to start swimming up to that boat as heavy as he is.
Just make me an athletics roll. You're still near the boat. You're still close to it. You haven't been in long, so it's just a DC 10, just a grab onto the side.
Okay, there is athletics plus the guidance. Great, so 15.
Okay, great. Alcune, you're able to just latch onto the side of the boat here. You managed to begin to pull yourself up if you want. You're just streaming and dripping this freezing cold
And
water.
cursing.
Fuck God, that fucking Jesus Christ, God, fucking freeze water.
That dark
Um,
shape is gone for the moment, but yeah, go ahead, Hato.
yeah, if I've known that he's gone in the water and I can see him trying to come up, I'll jump over and try to help him up.
Not, not
Which
overboard,
boat?
just to the other boat.
Yeah. Which boat did he grab onto?
He was knocked.
Ours.
I'll set his token, but he was knocked into the water just east of the pronged goat. So he's latched back onto it, and Hato, you're able to step across the boat here, even as it sways and undulates with the water, and grab hold of Alcune.
As soon as he gets into the boat, if we're able to get him into the boat, we need to start taking his clothes off. At least his heavy coat and stuff. And
Yep.
yeah, I'll help him up into the boat.
Well, you don't need to roll for it. I think with Alcune's roll, he's already hauled himself most of the way, and Hato, you're able to grab him and haul him, his dripping form, the rest of the way into the boat as Alcune continues to curse.
Take off clothes. I'm gonna already start trying to take his gloves off for him and his boots.
He's laying there beside the fish, and he's doing the cold thing, trying to unbutton everything.
Great. You begin to just sort of shake in the boat. You begin to take the outer layers off. The boat undulates, and then sort of grows still in the water. As Alcune and Hato are doing this, can Ghost and Nikrel roll me perception checks?
$16 for me.
17.
Both of you see this at the same time. I think it's because so much focus is on Alcune in that boat to the south, the pronged goat. But as Hato is pulling him into the boat to the south, not moving towards you, no wake, but you can see the long, large form of this creature below the water, about 20 feet away from you, not moving aggressively, just sort of floating 10 feet under the water. Its head moves inquisitively back and forth curiously. And then a long neck rather, moves up, and this very long 2-foot head, just lined with 3-inch needle teeth along the snout, rises above the water and just blinks twice, its head moving back and forth like a snake, until it rests its head on the water and watches you about 20 feet away.
I'm going to. I think I would do this. I'm fascinated with this creature. Absolutely fascinated with it. But I've also, I think I also have the presence of mind to. I'm taking clothes as they come off of, uh, Acule, Acune, as they come off of Alcune. I'm taking the clothes and with prestidigitation, I'm warming them and drying them. Little by little. I can only do 1 cubic feet at a time, but I kind of want to. I'm trying to gauge if this thing is intelligent, is what I'm trying to do. If it has the ability to communicate.
You're muted.
Thank you. Can you roll me an Arcana roll, please, Necro.
I need to close some windows. Yeah. 15.
So, more than anything, Necro, as you examine this thing in curiosity, in my mind, almost in that spider movement that you have to the prow of the boat, peering over the dark water toward this creature as its long head is laid against the water, there is an arcane tickle around this creature. Your warlock mind and abilities sort of feel this just static about the beast. It's high enough to roll to identify what's happened here, but however you know this for you, Necro, but there's an awakened spell on this creature. Someone has imbued it with intelligence. This is not naturally intelligent thing, but it is encased in a bubble of arcane awakening.
Okay, I'm going to. Okay, what I'm looking for now is I'm looking for sounds that it makes. I'm looking for a kind of movement that it has that's native to it, and depending on the. Sorry, I need one moment. If somebody else wants to do something, I'm still learning my abilities. I just need one moment to look something up.
Great. I grab the knucklehead. And my and one of my axes, and I chop the head off of the knucklehead, and then throw the fish head towards the creature, and then start making other little morsels to throw when needed.
As you throw the head toward it, its head, the long neck rises above the water and circles the head as it plops down into the water. Its huge bulbous body following this long neck. It circles the fish head, looks down into the water, and then moves closer to the boat. But the ghost, its eyes are intent upon the knucklehead trout that you have remaining. It gazes at the fish head that drops into the water, but then it moves closer to the boat. It's only about 15 feet away now, but its head is fully out of the water on this snaky neck, and its eyes are intently fixed upon that trout.
How is Alquin doing?
I think that most of the clothes are shrugged off at this point. I think Nickrel is going to have to make a decision here about what you want to focus on. You can either imitate and check its motion, or you can dry. So Nickrel, what do you want to focus on here? Because I think it would be effective, the spell. If you just like a big blow dryer of this prestidigitation over foot by foot of it, but one or the other.
I'll focus on the clothes for now.
Okay, great. You take your eyes off the beast. Ghost is sort of taken over, sort of looking at the beast at this point as you begin the drying. And I think as you begin to focus on that, Alcune, you get warmer and some of your clothes begin to dry here. This is an effective process and will work. But right now, Alcune, you are desperately cold as you're beginning to be heated, but you are really exposed to the elements out here at night. And I do need a Constitution saving throw from you, just from the frigid water and being exposed now to the wind that's sort of beginning to roll across the lake.
Can he use his is this a save or a check?
Save, please.
Save. And can he use his prayer on this? No, those are ability checks only. Sorry.
Those are ability checks.
Yeah, gotcha. So 16?
16. Yeah,
twice. Sorry, 11. 11. Yeah.
You're good either way. It's just a 10 for now. But I think with Nickrel's heat, you're really able to stave this off. It could have been much worse, but Hato got you out of the clothes. Your body begins to warm up and heat. I think there's a strange moment. These four strangers in the boat. Ghost has the fish looking across at this beast in the water, and the others are sort of focused down on you, peeling back these layers. You're kind of naked in the middle of this freezing cold lake as one begins to heat you, and Hato is sort of taking care of your clothing. It's certainly an incredible jump in intimacy, I think, from total strangers to near nakedness on the boat as you're out there together. And I think just like when you're naked out in any any like wilderness area, there's a sense of like huge exposure and expanse that rolls over you, Alcune. Ghost, the beast's head it's only 10 feet from the boat at this point, and its head dips down ever so slightly. It is intently gazing from you down to the trout, to you down to the rest of the trout.
I grab another morsel of it and chuck it 5 feet. So between me and the fish, I chuck it 5 feet.
Its eyes follow the piece that you throw off, and it almost nods as the trout sinks back, and then its long snake head moves back to you and looks back at the trout, and you can see this time almost a distinct nod of its head as it gazes at the trout.
Great. I take the rest of the trout, and hanging onto the tail, I bring it to the side of the boat.
Roll me a charisma check. No, an animal handling.
That'll be a 14.
The long snout of the creature moves closer, and with its eyes fixed on you, Ghost, its long lower jaw opens under the fish right at the level of the water, so if you were to drop the trout, it would fall right into its mouth at this point as its eyes gaze. It's ready, you can tell, at the slightest fast movement or twitch. Its flippers are just in the water steady as if it's ready to whisk itself away.
I say to it as I drop the fish. Saigo the bak da. So if it speaks or understands any sort of Sylvan or Fey, good little fish is what I say, and I drop the trout into its mouth.
Okay, as you say that, its snout closes over the fish for a moment, and then its long snaky head raises above the water, and it places the fish in the water and lets it sort of fall down into the depths, and it says, "Dead fish no good for me to eat. I only hunt what's alive."
In what language did he say that?
Common.
What the?
Did we all hear that?
Everyone hears it. Distinct. It's a quiet, almost reptilian voice that snakes out from it. Its teeth, you can tell that its face, it's not made for speaking. These long pointed teeth, this long jaw, and this very snaky, like unsplit but tongue out of its body, but it sort of whispers it out to you.
How close? How close is it right now, or is it gone?
Circled. No, it's still there. It's still there. It seems to be, after you spoke, Ghost, I think, Hato, you're gazing at it too, everyone is. And Alcune, we can take you out of this situation. I think you're out of danger at this point. You're still cold, but out of danger. So all of the focus can be where you want it to be at this point. But it keeps sort of circling. I would say it's about 15 feet just from the southern end of the pronged goat. But its eyes have lit up with curiosity after you spoke, Ghost.
I would like to use divine sense on it and see if I can sense if it's evil.
Divine sense. Does it detect anything else? I can look it up too.
No, I don't think so. Just strong evil registers. I know I would know the type. It's within 60 feet. I would know the type: celestial, fiend, or undead.
Yeah, it's none of those, and you don't get a strong wash of good or evil from it. I think honestly, Hato, it's one of the most true neutral readings you've ever got off that from using it. I mean, it's really quite a yeah. There's a real neutral wash that comes from it, but you don't. Yeah, I think that's what you get.
Oh, so I imagine Kuhn is laying on the bottom of the boat. He's stripped naked except for his long johns. His old man chest and belly laying there, covered in scars and stuff. And hearing that voice, he gets up on his elbows. So he's just looking over the railing of the boat to hear that voice. He looks up and he sees the head of that thing. And again, he's just hit by the fact of where the fuck is he that this happens. Like the people talk to the things in the water, and he gets the sense of the situation from Ghost, and he'll say, "What's your name out there, fella?"
Again, all of these sort of gnarled, long teeth sort of snap ever so slightly, and it says, "I've never had use for one, I must admit. Nor do I have many conversations." It moves closer to the boat. It's only 10 feet away now, and as it does, it says, "I'm not allowed to let your Bremen boats fish here." And the head snaps forward and takes a bite out of the boat. It goes right by your feet. The head of it goes right down by your feet, clamps onto the boat, and rips a section of wood away. That boat, the pronged goat, takes 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, takes 16 points of damage. The pronged goat is looking rough. At this point, there are multiple bites taken out of it. It's not, taking on water or anything, but it's looking, and it rears back up and it takes the wood, it shakes it ever so slightly, and it throws it off to the side and says, "I suggest you leave the lake and do not come back on with your Bremen boats." And its head begins to move back towards down the
Wait,
water.
what do you mean you're not allowed? What do you mean you're not allowed?
It does a circle as if agitated in the water, its long, snaky neck. "I was told not to let your boats float here. I was told by the one who brought me awake." And its head darts out again, and it bites down on the pronged goat. Again, Josh, just by your body, like easily within range, you're in range, but the pronged goat, 12, takes 18 points of damage.
Oh, the pronged goat does?
Yes.
Okay, we're that's our HP.
Are you at 0?
That's 16 plus the 5 earlier. It took us down to 21, and you just gave us 18, right?
Yeah, this time there's a big hole in the side of the boat, and
That's
cold
39.
water.
Yeah, that's 39.
Oh, that's okay. So that's enough. A big hole this time, right underneath you, Ghost, to the side of the boat, and he yanks it away. And this time, a huge flood of the cold water begins to pour into the bottom of the boat. And it's
God damn it!
the only one. Actually, everyone is in that boat at this moment, not on the ram's head. So cold water begins to pour in, and it's also tied to the ram's head as the fish sort of backs up ever so slightly, just sort of moving its head back and forth and shakes the splinters of wood from its teeth. Go home.
I'm gonna try to help Alcuin into the other boat along with his clothes, and maybe tap Nickerel on the shoulder and say, "Hey, let's to the other boat."
Yeah, I'm gonna clamber into the other boat, and as I do, the boat whistle that Ghost did earlier, about a ways behind us, there's another boat whistle that sounds just like it, and a few seconds after that, there's a fainter sound of another boat whistle that sounds just like that. As if to give the impression of one further off.
Dope. Nickerel, give me a... Yeah,
and then
ahead,
one even fainter, another one from further off, another boat whistle.
Give me a deception roll. I got a 14.
12.
Okay. There's a moment where it swims in a circle backwards towards the sound. You can actually see it swim at great speed that direction, and then it shakes its head and it zooms back towards you and says, "Oh, there's been others out here with little tricks, little bells, little whistles. You won't fool me with that one. I suggest you take the Bremen boat back." So all of you have clambered into the other boat at this point. Is that my understanding?
Yep.
Okay. The pronged goat is sort of hanging off the side, mostly submerged, but because it's tied on, it's just dead weight of boat at this point.
I hack at it with my hunting axe.
Okay. I think very quickly, Ghost, you're able to just sort of cut the ropes, and all four of you now are in the ram's head as the pronged goat sinks beneath the waves.
Alcune will look at the beast in kind of a hurried fashion and say, "Look, I'll give you one of your fish. I'll give you one of your fish. I need to ask you. I'll give you another one of your fish." And he starts putting his line in the water or looking for a harpoon or anything to kind of grab her fish. He's like, "We're looking for some of the sailors that went out here. Do you know what happened to them?
Yes, I drowned them.
All of them are drowned."
I believe so. Some of them are washed up on the rocks or the ice, but yes, I drowned them. When I ruined their boat, they sunk beneath the waves.
Someone's telling you to do this?
I have to do it if I want to stay as I am. And this time it circles up north of the boat. All of you can see the easy sort of grace this creature moves with beneath the water. It's very fluid. I think, like your Eldritch Blast, Nikrel, there's just this fluidity to its movement as it sort of tumbles and rolls and spins beneath the waves, but now it's on the northern side of you. If I want to stay like this, I have to sink the boat. And I don't want your fish. I can catch fish by myself.
Alcune's going to look at the other fellas like, what's the play here?
I would like to look at that rock west to see if we can find anything of sailors for people in Bremen. No fishing. And then we go.
All right. That sounds agreeable. I might catch something to eat, but you can be assured I'll be watching you. If you don't return to Bremen or you come back on the water, and there is almost a shrug along its huge reptilian body as it sort of shrugs down all the muscles of its back. I would like to stay as I am, and its head dips back beneath the icy waves. You can see its sort of bright, beady eyes, and then it becomes a shadow under the water.
I would like to stay as you are as well.
What the fuck was that? Does that happen all the time out here?
Not like that. And I start pulling the boat to aim it towards those rocks to the west where I think I see debris. I thought I saw it on our way towards it. Yep. And so just coasting along.
Start paddling wave.
Coasting along it, going around the side. I'm looking for that multi-pattern jacket.
Yeah.
I'm looking
Yeah.
for
Roll me a perception roll, would you?
I since I assume I'm not the only one looking for it, may I have advantage, please?
Yeah,
Yes, you may.
I'm looking. Yeah.
Actually, you know what? Everyone can roll me one. Why doesn't everyone? So we have 4 dice going. And we will see what's happening on the rock.
Yeah. A perception. I got a 10.
10. Ghost.
It's a natural 20, so a 24 for me.
Ooh.
Awesome. Ghost, I think that the encounter with the creature is unlike anything you've really seen before. I think there's one thing in your memory that slightly reminds you of it. That'll be between you and me. But upon the rock, your senses are just sharpened. Everything is heightened, and you can feel the wind along all of your fur. You can feel every movement of the boat. And yeah, you can see that on this rock there appear to be 3 barrels. One of them is smashed against the rocks, and 2 of them are intact. You do find what looks like a pair of pants with one leg frozen still inside them, as well as a boot which still has a frozen foot in it. But the barrels are actually closed and 2 of them are intact.
I don't see rock. I don't see targ. I see barrels and I see half of men.
Listen, let's just go over there. You know, Let's check the barrels. Men do strange things in the heart of fear. Let's just check the barrels, and if we can find a leg, and maybe that'll give the widow some kind of closure.
Uh, Nicriel, you make starlight again.
Oh, yes. Like raise my hand and cast light.
Okay.
I drag an oar onto the rock just to hold us steady while the others search through the barrels.
Awesome. Nikril, that wonderful light sort of blossoms above you, fully illuminating the rock. Josh, with your natural 20, I think it's very easy to sort of guide the others up the rock. I mean, you've seen like all the climbing places are made easy, and whoever wants to look at the barrels may. They appear closed, not sealed, just beaten closed like you would with a hammer around the ring to keep them closed. But they look somewhat damaged and probably pretty easy to pry open. You're muted, Dee.
As he's putting on his walrus jacket again, he starts prying at that barrel, and he's going to call out. He's going to turd. He's going to call out into the air like that as he's opening up this barrel.
I'll pry at the other barrel.
Okay, both of you make me athletics rolls. They're just a DC 10 to pry off this kind of beaten ring that's over the top. The ghost is holding the boat steady against the rock at this point as Nikril holds the light.
I rolled 6. I'm having a little trouble with mine.
Okay, I think both of you struggle, and the water has swollen the barrels where the ring is actually, it looks easy, but it's actually harder than it appears. But yeah, they're still closed as you sort of struggle out there. I think, Alcune, Nikril's magic has been quite effective, and your walrus skin jacket is actually warmer. I mean, it's actually very hot, like it just came out of the dryer. I think you're feeling quite refreshed by that. But they're just swollen with the water of the barrels, and the ring's tight.
Can he just reach? Because he's just looking like, is he hiding in the barrel? Is he around the fucking? It's cold, and there was a talking water snake. He's going to reach around and grab his mace and just bring it down on that barrel.
Great. Yep. Just roll me an attack. All you got to do is DC 10 again, just to crack open the top. God damn it. This is the easiest part of the game. So the mace sort of, you rock backwards against the rock, the mace just like thuds and almost hits you in the face, Alcune, as it just bounces off the round side of it and just like almost comes and knocks you in the face.
I'm not even looking at him. I'm kind of looking up at the sky and the light that I'm casting and everything. I hand him a crowbar and say, if you want to do the job right, you got to bring the proper tools, laddie.
Crowbar,
In Dwarven.
Damn crowbar to start with.
That will grant you advantage, Alcune, because that is the right tool for the job. Oh my god. Okay. I'm going to say accumulatively, because so the whole game doesn't become about opening a barrel. I think just over time.
Two of us work on one barrel together. How about that?
There we go. Alcune, what the fuck? Ghost, your incredibly keen senses are awake as this old man struggles to open a barrel up on top of an ice rock.
I'm reminded of a story of, and I just start saying it to Nicriel. There once was men go out to sea to catch fish, and he catch fish, but it was too big, and he bring it back home. But when he land, other fish ate his fish. Alcune is kind of like that man.
Alcune's still prying at the fucking barrel.
If Hato is with you, you can take it at advantage, DD.
All right, another strength check.
At this point, if you don't open it, I'm going to say the barrel is permanently sealed. It just is waterlogged. It can't be opened unless by power tools.
I know.
There we go. 13.
There we go. Okay, great. The bear with I think Hato kind of moves over and puts a hand on the crowbar and just like sticks it in and just helps you yank it back, and the top pops open. Um, it's a barrel full of frozen fish. There are 10 frozen uh, uh, um, knucklehead trout in here that were caught, stuffed in a barrel, sealed, and then they
Oh,
froze because they were left out in the environment. But they're just frozen in the barrel. There are 10 of them.
I whisper this to Alcuin because I don't want the creature. The creature freaks me out. Uh, we should take back. Yes.
yeah.
No. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
As Hato, as you say this, I think Ghost, you're still in the boat, and there's just a slight drip of water, and you become aware that while all of you have been focused up, the monster's head is about 5 feet from you, but above you, its long neck, and it says, "I won't take the fish back. That's why he doesn't want the boats out here. I will have to sink your boat if you take it back with fish. That's why I'm out here." And its water and saliva drips from this long snout and runs down into your fur. I think you can smell it, Ghost, and see just how big and long its neck is and how many like rows of these needle teeth are in its mouth.
What do you
So,
remember? What do you remember before awakening?
I remember cutting through the chilly water. I remember the chase of the knucklehead trout. I remember snapping at their tails and swallowing them whole. That was my point and purpose. Now I can enjoy the lake. I can enjoy how the sun, well, sometimes from in the middle of the day, will just barely touch on the clouds before disappearing again. I can see the aurora when it peaks above the northern edge, and I can enjoy the hunt, which I never did before. I did it like a machine, and now I love it.
uh, you know what a patched coat is?
I've seen one on the rocks to the north. I believe it belonged to a man I drowned.
He's drowned on the rocks in the north.
At least his coat is there.
How far is that?
Not far.
Can we sail over there? That's the man we're looking for.
If you go with no fish, but if you go any further than those rocks to the north, I sink you.
Uh, he'll look around at at his compatriots again. Like,
Agreed. Agreed.
yeah. All right. You sure you don't want any of these fish? They're freshly frozen.
The long snout and neck moves over the rock, sort of winding itself up near you, its eyes very alert in case any of you moves quickly. And with its long muzzle, it knocks the barrel off the rock. It rolls down, and the fish pour into the lake. "I only eat
Uh,
what's alive, and you take none home." And it pulls itself back down into the water. You can still see the head above the water, but about 5 feet above it, it's just watching you.
Let's break the other barrel open for the birds. No reason to let it go to waste for everyone. Wouldn't you agree, creature?
Leave them for the birds.
sure, I'll take that barrel open for the birds.
The beast swims over Hato at this, and actually, I think you can see it has become quite curious at this point. Some of its fear has retreated away from it. It's moving kind of among you now. None of you have made a move to attack it or moved sort of quickly in its presence. And Hato, as you say this, its head moves up and towards you, is just about 2 feet away from you. This immensely long snout, again, and these two beady eyes. It turns its head ever so slightly to the side to look at you. "That's a very thoughtful thing to do for the birds. No one ever did that for me when I was a dumb beast. I really hope I don't have to drown all of you. 'Twould be a shame. You could certainly come back and visit me on the edge of the ice."
Where is that? Where you live? The edge of the ice?
No, I live deep, deep down below, as I always have. But now it is nice to see people. It's unfortunate I have to drown so many of them.
Yeah. You live deep down with him, the one who tells you what to do.
Oh no. Ravison is no longer here. Ravison has gone on to Lonely Wood.
Ravisson's in Reloading Wood, but he still tells you what you can and can't do, huh?
No, Ravison told me what I would and would not do. He told me if I did not keep sinking boats, then I would go back to be the dumb beast that I am. He said he had another creature to awaken up that way, something that lived out of the water.
Huh. Wow. Well, I hope it's as polite as you are. I thank you for your courtesy.
I would
We're
much
gonna.
rather I would much rather speak than I would drown, but I do not want to lose what I feel when I hunt or see the aurora.
You deserve a name.
Its head reels back. I think looking at Hato, where it was, Hato, something about the fish. I think also in that stillness that you have Hato inside of you, that deep, that core, that center of that honor that we sort of talked about. There's that stillness of the beast in front of you. And as you said that, and then Ghost says this, it reels its head back. Can one of you roll me a persuasion check with advantage? I think you've helped each other sort of tweak something in the beast's mind.
Go ahead.
Oh, what's your charisma?
My charisma is a 14. What's yours?
You do it. You do it.
I'll do it. I roll shit.
Smart players, good, yeah.
All right. I'll do this. Everyone can see it. Oh, what do I do?
Oh,
Nat 20?
nice.
Okay, you see the head reel back and then move down to Ghost and then back up to you, Hato, and it says, I would very much like a name. I would very much like to be someone, that is for sure. Maybe you can visit me again. Please don't fish anymore. I would like to stay as I am. I must sink you if you come out here. Its neck and head now moves among you without tension or stress, as if it stopped sort of fearing you. It's not on edge anymore, but its long, snaky neck moves through your bodies. It's within reaching distance. I mean, you could reach your hand out and touch this slimy, wet neck and long head as it moves among you. What do I have to do to earn a name? How does one go about getting a name?
My mother named me.
My mother did not speak, nor did she know she was my mother. She simply gave birth to me, and there I was in the water. How does one get? How does one find a name?
What do you love the most?
I
Since
suppose I
you've
love.
awakened, what do you love the most?
Oh, I love the
Aurora,
speed.
fish, the speed?
I love the speed of chasing a trout, and just when it thinks it's about to get away, clamping my jaws down upon its tail.
The chase and the hunt? Chase and the hunt? But he's going through his celestial language for chase and hunt, which is not. There aren't very many words about chasing and hunting in the celestial language, so he'll look over elvish, dwarvish, chase, hunt, something. What do we think? What is it in elvish? He'll look over at Ghost.
Uh, for creatures of Fae, deeper than Elvish. Hunt is Hela.
Hela. Hela.
I like this name, Hela, and it moves around the rock now, sort of picking up speed. There's a bit of that V-shaped wake behind it as it moves around the rock. Hela, the hunter, and its head dips in and out of the water for as long. Oh, I would not want to drown any of you. I wish that this was not held over my head, but you seem quite nice. I wish to visit longer with you, but if you stay here, I must drown you.
Hela, Raviston, we won't tell Raviston. There's no way he will know, is there? Will he know?
I don't know. Ravison told me that he was a druid of some considerable power.
Well, druids are powerful, yes. And when did he say this? How long has he been gone? Maybe he's been gone so long he doesn't know anymore.
A few weeks.
A few weeks he's been gone.
Nikrel, can you roll me another Arcana roll? I think that as this conversation's been going on, that previous roll you did about sort of the magic out there has sort of increased, has sort of grown.
Oh!
Oh, amazing. Nikra, as this sort of phantom, you reached out earlier, and just that tingling sense comes over you again as you get a better sense of the magic around it. But as the conversation has gone on and the questions percolating its nature have come up, that understanding of the magic has fully solidified. The spell on this creature is permanent and irrevocable.
Oh, great.
It's awakening.
Okay.
If Ravison were to return, I would not like to risk it. Maybe you can find Ravison and kill him or speak to him for me, but if I become a dumb beast again, then I am just like the knucklehead trout. I am nothing and no one.
Look at John trying to figure out how to get that info to us.
Yeah.
I'm like, making this up as I go, this character,
I'm going to feed you all the important plot, and so that it just falls down this infinite Alice keyhole.
Yes. No.
As this is going on, our previous conversation and whatever's going on with Nickrel, we're just paddling that boat gently, moving up to those northern rocks.
Great.
And
I'll actually...
I'm sorry. So Alcune would have taken that foot with the leg.
Gotcha. Well, I think as this conversation is happening, then I'm just going to move you up that way, and you can see that out on these rocks there is a section of a smashed boat, and there are figures on the coast, and one of them does have a bright patched coat. The body looks very frozen on the edge of the rocks.
I'm going to keep doing my thing until somebody does something different. But when we get to the rocks, it'll be about, so the medic, the combat medic, is going over there to look at this. He's going to look at all of them, but he's going to start with the patched coat. So I'm going to examine the body to see, is it too late? Can I revive him? What state is he in? That kind of thing.
Yeah, I think even without a roll, Alcune, as you are on the edge of the rocks here, sort of looking down, the body is deeply frozen and very dead. That bright coat is there. You can see another form sort of floating off the side of the boat that's quite frozen as well. Looks like the body of someone else, but they're very past. They probably passed, 12, 13 hours ago.
Damn first level fucking cleric fucking. He'll pull the body in. He'll pull the body in into the boat, and he'll turn to Hella. Do you have a mate?
No, it is just myself.
Oh, that must be rather lonely.
I hadn't thought about that, but I suppose it will be.
No other creatures to speak to?
Perhaps you could get Ravison to awaken another one like me deep beneath the ice.
Oh, well, we definitely will be speaking to Ravison soon.
I must ask you to turn back now and paddle at all speed. I do not wish to. It's been lovely speaking with all of you. And its neck again flits down next to you, and it rests its chin on the boat briefly and then raises it high above in that striking pose. But I will have to sink the boat and drown you if you do not leave. If Ravison returns and sees me letting you paddle around the lake.
No, I understand. Thank you very much, Helen. We're getting the other body up there too, whatever that other body.
Okay.
Putting it on the boat. Yep, great. Absolutely, Helen. And what's the name of this town? I'm going to look over at Hatu. What's the name of this town?
Bremen.
I know the people of Bremen would be very happy to have you as a friend, and you would always have someone to talk to. May I mention you to them?
Yes, sure. I would
Yes.
like to know more people for sure.
Well, maybe we'll come to the edge of the ice and we'll speak with you some more. That way you don't have to be lonely.
I would like that.
All
I will
right.
maybe pretend that I have not seen you. Maybe it is best now that I swim away deep, deep down, just in case Ravison is to see me again. Maybe I shall pretend I never saw you at all, and that I never saw your boat. But if Ravison comes again, I must sink their boats. I will not lose this. I will not lose myself. And it begins to back away and sort of sink down into the water. Go where you will.
If Raviston hurts you, you find us. We will help you.
If Ravison hurts me, I will not know myself anymore. I will be nothing and no one, and certainly not Hela.
He's going to look over to Ghost. What the fuck? Who the hell is this Raviston druid? What the fuck kind of town is this? And he's rowing back south to the village.
Okay. Great. Y'all are able to make it back south, I think, unmolested. You guys have learned the ice flows on the edge of the water. There's a couple of inlets now to make your way that way. You do pass, there's like a small rowing boat farther out to the west with a couple of people that actually lift a hand to you as you pass in the night. They have a couple torches and look like they're able to see you. Maybe dwarves with dark vision as you pass by. They don't yell anything out, but they look like fishermen. They have another sigil on their boat as well. And actually, Ghost you would recognize, but you pass some fishers from Lonely Wood to the north. But you're able to row the boat back. If you want to land, you may. Are you going to take it all the way in, Alcune?
Yeah, I'll take it as close as I can get to the town, knowing that we've got a lot to carry back into the village.
Okay, great. Yeah, then getting out of the boat, you have your two people. You're able to, leave them in the boat as you pull it back across the quarter mile back to Bremen. As you head that way, the only one boat remaining, but you're able to pull the boat back up. Grinsk is long gone, and the Aurora is huge above your heads. This bright, undulating blue and green, sort of filling the sky. It gives almost a dull light, so Alcune, you can see better as well as it bathes the space. And you pull the boat back up onto the dock. You're very near the outfitting place. If that's where you want to head, or you can go anywhere in town if you want to just wrap stuff up for this session. But
Does anybody want to talk to the widow?
I think we should. Yeah, I think we should. That's where we should go. Yeah.
Right.
Should we just leave him in the boat down there, or should we bring him up? We should leave him in the boat, shouldn't we?
Yeah, it's best we talk to her before she sees him. He'll go and knock on that door. We left at 1, so early evening now, Case?
say you've been gone
6,
for
7.
a couple of hours, so we'll say it's like 5-ish as you knock
Okay.
on the door, and you can hear this as you knock on the door a few times. There is this sort of scurry of activity. There's a rustle as if someone's moving quickly. You can tell it's from excitement as somebody goes yes, yes, and they come up to the door and says, "It's good to see you again." She throws open the door and looks in your face. She's sort of blushed a little bit, and there's just this hint of hope on the sides of her mouth. She's trying to quell the hope as she looks you in the eyes.
And so Alcune's done this hundreds of times before. He's had to bring this news to widows. So it's in his eyes is where it is, and he's gonna put his hand like he always does, put his hand on her shoulder, and he's gonna say, "I'm sorry, we found him." He'll just say it that way. Would you like us to bring him in?
I think as you do this, she holds herself together for a few moments. You can tell that the edges of her face sort of vibrate and shiver with emotion held in, and then she puts a hand on your chest as she frantically sort of throws herself past you. As you said, bring him in. You can see her eyes recognize that he must be down there. She can see the boat. She throws herself past you and begins running down that slope, that snowy slope, not wearing any winter garb, that long white dress trailing out behind her, and that black hair streaming in the wind as you just hear a scream just fill that dark night of Icewind Dale. And